Yo gamers, what's up? It's GoldDemon, and this is a bit of a late upload, but it's what it is, right? So today I just want to talk about the anniversary and like what your expectations are for it, because for me, I'm only really expecting it to have some good characters and some, a good amount of summons. That's really about it. I know there's a lot of people talking about a free 5 star potentially, and I just want to get that idea out of your head, is that I don't think they're gonna do one at all, and I also don't think they have any reason to, right? So if anyone has been around since like the Genshin era for Hoyoverse, you know that they are very stingy in that game in particular for whatever reason. And they didn't give everybody a free 5 star during the anniversary, and it was quite underwhelming. Years go on, same thing happens, no free 5 star, people are upset, right? Now, technically they did get Aloy, but that I did a whole video over that whenever she first came out. The Aloy only exists purely for promotional reasons on PlayStation. PlayStation has this weird thing where they make developers pay extra than other platforms for their services and whatnot. They have to pay for crossplay versus like Xbox and Steam and whatnot, but they don't make you do that. So there's a weird thing. You can look that up on your own or refer to my old video, but it is true. It's a part of the deal that Hoyoverse had with PlayStation to include Aloy as a promotional piece. And so why did I bring it up specifically in the context of free 5 star? Well, I would say we already got our free anniversary 5 star as Dr. Ratio. Now I know it's marketed as a award for getting, what was it? Best mobile game of the year, right? And we also got another reward for Honkai Star Rail. But the thing is, you gotta understand is that Dr. Ratio has been free since he's come out until 2.1, which is the anniversary update, right? So if you're a new player who logs into the game, you would have gotten a free anniversary 5 star, right? You see what I'm saying? Because you log in during that time period. Everyone else just happened to get them early, right? And so that's part of the reason why I don't think we would get one. And then secondly, it would set a precedent of people expecting a free 5 star on anniversary, and or more free 5 stars down the road, right? And I don't think Hoyoverse wants to specifically do that, right? And as well as they keep their numbers internally, I'm sure they know or understand the repercussions of that specifically. So with those two reasons in mind and other possible reasons, I don't think they'll give us a free 5 star. I don't think you should expect a free 5 star, mostly because we already got one and there's no real reason for us to get another one, right? I know some people would be upset about that, but I'll be honest, I would take one of the other things I'm going to talk about over the free 5 star, right? And I'm not bringing up the selector because that's something completely different. But if you've seen an image about a free 5 star going around with a selector, it's 100% fake. It's been in the files for forever, right? Everybody has already seen it. In fact, I think it's even on a Star Rail station, if I'm not mistaken. Here, let me duplicate this real quickly. I should have pulled this up earlier, but I could have sworn it's on here. It'd be at the top because it's 5 star. Yeah, here it is. Get to the stars. This is something that's been in the data for since the game's release. So, and these other things like these like strongbox things. So, yeah, I don't know. Like again, there's images on Twitter and everything that are going around that are just fake. They're not real. It's again stuff that's been in the game, or they're heavily edited. Like there was one clip of the 5 star selector, but the dude had like 8 battle passes in his inventory on top of like multiple like relic things in there, right? Which you can't even acquire in the game. So it was very fake, but it just went past some people, right? So I just want to get that out of people's head that any clips like that are fake. Also, there's this. Why can't we get this? That's besides the point. So yeah, free 5 star. Don't expect that. But you could expect a lot of primos or jades, which I'll get into now. So this update, I did a little rough math by doing some research and counting it myself as well. We I've said this before many times, but this update we've gotten over 100 summons free to play if you've done everything. And by this math right here that I've done, it's been over technically 120, and that's including the standard summons, right? So if I were to remove that, right? Because we just want to remove the standard summons, right? People won't count that. It's still over 100, right? And probably about 110 completely free to play if you've done everything for the limited banner. And that is huge, right? Now, we also got that plus 20, which I did account for in the actual calculation you can see here. I don't know if they would give it to us again for anniversary. Genshin never, well, Genshin did actually give us a extra multi, but that was post controversy and protest, so you can't really account for that. As well as for their like big event, Lantern Rite, they normally only give like 3 fates or something like that. But Star Rail, we got 10 passes just for the version update. So I'm not sure really what to account for, but I would estimate or expect around 100 summons as well for anniversary, because I don't see a reason why they would give us less for anniversary, and I also don't see a reason why they'd really give us more. But who knows? They could add more stuff than uh, I'm thinking they would add, right? But again, I think it's totally reasonable to expect this much, and I think this is pretty good for anniversary for this game, right? Because that would allow players to have a better opportunity at getting both 5 stars, right? Like how this update gave us so many, right? Upwards of 120 summons and even more than that. Especially if you are Battle Pass, because again, I didn't include Battle Pass buyers or Welkin buyers or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I think there's plenty of summons for people to get both characters. Again, as always, get who you want. I'm definitely getting Acheron. But yeah, it's a pretty good amount of summons, I'd say. I think it's reasonable to expect around 100 summons. And in terms of where they'd be placed, I would assume there's like 60 of these in the first half, and then the second half would be like 40 of them. I can't know for certain because they could split them up however they want or give players a gift whenever they want, right? And keep in mind the anniversary for this is on April 16th, and the update will be going live on, I believe, the 20, unless they do it early again. It'd be the 26th of March. That should be when the update's going live for NA, right? Overseas it would be the 27th, right? So the update will go live there, and then Acheron's banner will last for like 2.5 weeks? Because it's no 3 weeks. It lasts for 3 weeks and going into the update, and then it would end before uh the actual was it the actual anniversary. Acheron's banner will be over right before the actual anniversary, so that might be upsetting for some players, as again the shop reset, right? They do this in Genshin, they do this in Honkai. I believe they do it in Honkai, I don't actually remember, but the shop resets, the actual page shop for anybody buying from like battle passes and or not battle passes, sorry, the one-time bonuses, right? These will reset once the anniversary comes around. So keep that in mind, that if you do intend on making use of your money and you are a paying player, you can go ahead and buy these up. They'll reset after Acheron's banner. It is kind of unfortunate that's not during Acheron's banner for those players that want to, double dip during that time. But just keep that in mind that after the banner, it will reset, right? At least based on the dates that I know. Maybe they do something funny and reset the start of the update. Who knows, right? Or, and in fact, talking about the Primo Gem count, or Jade count, they could send us more via the mail, right? So we wouldn't know. It's up to them whether or not we would actually receive any rewards from the mail. That being said, on to the next thing. 4-star selector. I think it's actually totally reasonable to expect a 4-star selector, and there is one. But in terms of the characters who you would get, it's probably going to be the new characters. It is. And in terms of who you would pick for the new characters, right? Because we've got Lynx, Luca, Yukong, Gwenhyphen, Shuehi, Henya, and Misha. I don't actually know if Misha would be there, but or Gallagher, because Gallagher is actually a new character as well. But out of all these new characters, I 100% think you should select Gallagher. And here's why. Gwenhyphen is free now, so if you didn't pick her up then, kind of unfortunate, but I would recommend picking her up over Asta. I don't think Asta is very much worth it. And if we were to compare Gallagher to all these other 4-stars, I think he's much more impactful for a player's account, and more worth like getting overall, right? And again, this only depends on if he's not on the banner you're summoning on. If he happens to be on whichever banner that you are summoning on, you would probably change your decision to either Shuehi or Gwenhyphen, right? Or Henya even. If I were to like rank these characters on who I would pick, it'd probably be like Gallagher at the top, right? And then Shuehi, Gwenhyphen, Henya, and then like Yukong, and then the other characters, right? Because Lynx is already free, right? Actually Yukong should also be free, if I'm not mistaken. She was from the Zanlofu Memory of Chaos, so she's actually probably free, so probably don't get her. But still, like, you understand what I'm saying. I think Gallagher's definitely the number one pick, depending on which banner you're summoning on, right? And then it's like Gwenaife and Shuei, who's like a solid DPS, but again, like she kind of needs Rune Mei. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hinya, Shuei, Gwenaife, and Gallagher, those ones I think are fine. Everyone else I think is not really worth your time at all. They're not good enough to really worth the investment in my opinion, right? So yeah, 4-star selector, it would be great. Genshin does this for their Lantern, right? So you can expect that as well. As for the fuel, I already mentioned this, but I will say I 100% would take 100 fuel over a 5-star, just because I want the fuel for grinding. It's that simple. You don't gotta complicate things. Not everyone's gonna agree with me on that one, but personally, that's what I want out of the anniversary, right? Just say, in terms of events, right? Events, I would expect, like always, multiple double drop events. We'll probably get a double planar because there'll be a new planar set, and we'll probably get a double relic set drop as well instead of a resource one this update, right? Something like that, because there's, I mean, I would expect it. Maybe they do more. Maybe there's 3 double drop events. Who knows? But typically they do 2 per update, and I expect at least a relic one, and then or planar one, and then probably a regular relic one in the same update, right? That being said, it's really hard to say on the events. Maybe they do something cool, unique. I don't know, but that could be what it is. Collectibles. I only say this because they could do an anniversary limited time collectible. Now in Honkai Impact, they actually gave like all players like the previous anniversary ones, so maybe they won't do that. But there could reasonably be a like unique year 1 collectible for your account that would be pretty nice to have for players as a thing to commemorate the fact that you played during the first anniversary, right? And then lastly, the banners, right? This is the main thing that people are, wanting to know about the anniversary. It's like, oh, who do I summon on? It's hard to say right now because we don't actually know the banners yet, but we can make an educated guess based on various different data points, or not really data points, but various different like character releases, right? So we can just predict based on release schedule and Hoyoverse's pattern that they've basically been keeping up so far. Now this chart is by Fourth Hollow over on Reddit. They actually came up, or they actually created this to show how many banners it's been since a character's last been here, right? And using this plus another couple of data points and just guesses, I've actually come up with this for character banners, right? So I won't waste too much more of your time, but this is just my prediction for the character banners, right? I should probably leave that still on screen. I'm expecting first half to be Acheron Topaz with Pella, Gallagher, Yukong. Is this a good banner? Yes. However, I don't like the fact that Yukong's on there for 2 reasons. 1, she's not worth it for most players, and 2, I already have her E6, so this would be a waste for me. Right. However, Pella plus Gallagher would make this a fantastic banner to summon on for all players, as Pella's very strong, one of Acheron's best teammates, and just one of the best characters in the game in general. And then Gallagher is also really good. In fact, I'd say he probably competes with the 5-star sustains. Like he's probably better than some of them, to be honest with you. But I think that would be a very fantastic banner. And for the weapon banner, same thing. I'm expecting Trinity Universal Market because it hasn't been here since like 1.3. You can pull this up on the wiki for yourself, but if you go all the way down to yeah, I believe, was it 1.3? Wait, no, where was it? I thought it was 1.3. Bro, I looked at this like last night. Oh my god. Okay, chat, I'm a bit dumb. It's 1.5. That's when it was. That's the last time it was here. But I would actually think this right here, Trend plus Goodnight Sleepwell and Post Hoc, would be a goated weapon banner, as this is just a good general use light count for the abundance characters because it gives you energy recharge, right? That's really good. Goodnight Sleepwell would be a good 4-star for your Nihility characters, for them to do damage, and as an alternate option for Acheron. So that would be really good for if you can't actually get her signature light count, right? And then obviously Trinity Universal Market because of the synergy, and it hasn't been here for a while. And so this would just be an insane banner if they actually sold this, or it was available during that time. Then afterwards, no idea who the other character would be. I just guessed possibly Argenti with Luca and Lynx and Asta, right? And I'm just assuming because it would have been I mean, it's possible. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe they do Fushuan, right? Luocha is always a possibility, but I don't know. Again, I was just making a guess, based on various different things. So it could be like this, and then the weapon banner would be like Secret Vow, subscribe for more and shared feelings. So yeah, uh, I don't know how right I'll be. Again, this is a complete guess, but I think the Acheron banners here would be very good if this was her actual banner. So hope to see Pella plus Gallagher, and hope to see at least Trend on weapon banner, because that would be huge for her actual teams, right? And yeah, that's about it. I want to know what you guys think down below about this. Banners, anniversary, all that stuff. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.